What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video, we are just going to talk about Bitcoin. As you know, today is Bitcoin Mondays, and I hopefully will try to give you a good picture of what Bitcoin is going to do for the rest of this week so that you can be prepared for whatever happens. So if you want to figure out exactly what Bitcoin's going to do, make sure you stick around to the end of this video. But before I dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _the Art of Crypto, this is where I'm sharing the latest market updates as well as any trades that I might be looking at. So make sure you follow me on Twitter because, it does take quite some time to make a video. And, the latest stuff is going to be shared on Twitter. Without any further ado, let's dive right into it. So if you guys remembered, I made a guide on how to trade ranges and I used Bitcoin as the example. And if you want to check out that video, it's going to be on the top right hand corner. It teaches you how not to get wrecked on, when price is ranging like what Bitcoin is doing right now. So basically what I said in the beginning was that you are going to take out the range high and you take out the range high over there, and then you're going to take out the range low. Watch that, right? You take out the range low and then you revert, right? This is called mean reversion. And it is a concept that I discuss, in that video on how to trade ranges. And if you want to figure out exactly what is the reason behind why this happens, basically just think of it as, when you get so many equal highs over here, right? Imagine everyone is going to be thinking, oh, this level is going to be really strong resistance. And that's why everyone shorts there and they're going to place a stop loss basically right above or maybe just a little bit higher, right? And that's how you get, a short squeeze, because the market makers know that your stop losses is at here, right? They have the data of stop losses and liquidations, and that's why they can always push the price to the point of maximum pain, such as this, where everybody gets liquidated and then they revert it back up by 20-30%. This is stuff that happens very regularly, not just in crypto but in every market. The market makers know what you're doing, and they are the ones that move the markets. They are the ones that manipulate the markets. The sooner you figure out what they're trying to do and trade alongside with their direction that they set in place, the better off you're going to be. So currently, let's try to figure out what's going to happen next for Bitcoin. So first off, this pattern right here is absolutely beautiful. Usually this would be a bearish pattern, but I always like to be bullish when everyone's being bearish. And right now, crypto is in a state where, fear is at very, very high levels. And because of this, I do believe that, again, I have been saying this for a while and I will continue to say this. November and December are not going to be good months for crypto, but heading into 2022, especially Q1 and Q2 2022 is going to be very good months for crypto. We might potentially get the blow off top. We might not get the blow off top, but either way, the positions that you built in December are going to carry over into the months of basically Q1, Q2 2022. So definitely now is not the time to be getting scared, and now is the time to be accumulating positions. For now, the only thing that I can say is that this pattern is bullish for me. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to mark down this level right here at about, so let me extend this trend line a little bit. So what you want to find, what you want to see is a breakout of this trend line in order to go for a long, right? So basically, if the price breaks about 47,000, then, you can buy along with the breakout. So like that, or once it breaks out, you can buy the bullish retest, which will come in somewhere at about 46,200. And then, it's going to take off from there, right? But either way, pay attention to these two entries. I will get into the take profit targets later, but for now, pay attention to the entries. Those are going to be the first two entries that I'm going to give you in this video. And the second entry is the fact that we might be getting another liquidation event. Now, I'm not sure about this, but judging by the way Bitcoin volatility is looking like, and basically what this chart tells you is, whether or not Bitcoin is about to get, volatile, as the name suggests. And back then, when I was paying attention to this pattern right here, you can see a consolidation pattern even on Bitcoin volatility. And that's why, that's when you get the massive liquidation event. So right now, I would say that Bitcoin volatility is, it's just waiting to, sort of pop off again. And if it does, then there's going to be another liquidation event for Bitcoin. If some kind of liquidation event happens, right, I'm really going to want you to pay attention to about 39,700-ish, right? You're definitely going to want to pay attention to this level. I'm going to draw that level up, right? 39,600, yeah, about that level, right? Between 40,800 to 39,600. And on the third level, right, I'm going to give you guys a third level, just in case, things really go down, then these are the three levels that you're going to want to watch for, right? Which is 37,250, or 37,300, 39,600, and 4,800. right? In my opinion, it is going to be a very good idea for you to set some longs, some limit longs on these 3 levels before anything happens, right? Because if, you guys might already be familiar with liquidation events, and whenever there's a liquidation event happening, it tends to move so quickly that if you do not have the limit orders set beforehand, you are not going to catch it, right? You are not going to catch the bottoms, and that is a fact. So make sure you set the limit order so that you do not miss out on this bottom, right? It is going to be very close to the bottom. You do not want to miss out. So in the off chance, right? In the off chance, before I get into why I believe there's going to be a liquidation event and why I believe that these targets are going to be, the targets to watch out for, like if we go to 35K, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if we go back to 35K, the bottom, right? The bottom heading into 2022, heading to 100K. I'm calling it in advance. This is the level that I believe is going to be the bottom for Bitcoin, right? This is like we have right here a gap in liquidity right here, where basically from this point onwards, you can see that there is 0 price action that happened in between this level. This is what you call traditional market people will call it a CME futures gap. I like to just call it an imbalance. And imbalances always get filled. If you want to understand why imbalances always get filled, again, I'm going to link a video on the top right hand corner. And in that video, I'm also going to teach you how to snipe the exact bottoms for coins, basically. So now that you understand the 4 levels that you have to pay attention to, and preferably I would set some limit orders on those 4 levels, I really do not expect 35K to get hit ever, right? Period. As long as this bull market is alive, I don't think it's going to happen, right? But in the off chance that it happens, during a liquidation event, please take advantage of it, right? Especially after I just told you about this level. So those are going to be the levels that you want to pay attention to. Now, as for why I determined that these levels are going to be the bottom for Bitcoin and why these levels are going to be targeted, right? It's because of the liquidity under these levels. Now, whenever you get equal bottoms, such as this, right? You get 1, 2, 3, 4 equal lows. Whenever you get something like this, retail and everybody is going to look at that level and be like, oh, hey, that's really strong support. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to place longs at that level, as do we, right? And I'll tell you what we're doing different from everybody else, right? Everybody's going to place orders here. But yeah, what you have to understand is most of retail and most people, when they go on leverage or when they do trading, they're going on leverage. And when people go on leverage, they rarely go below 5x leverage. Most of them are using 10x and 20x, some even 50x. What's going to happen then is a 10% move, right? Or if you're using isolated, it's really more like an 8% move because the exchange have to give a little bit of leeway for themselves. So assuming that an 8 to 10% move is going to wipe out most people, right? It's going to come here. Everybody places along and bam, right? It just dumps like 10 more percent, stop everybody out, take out all the liquidity over here, right? And the other thing about liquidity that you have to understand is anybody that went long, like here, like basically anywhere, right? Got a free ride to the top, right? To a new all-time high, got a free ride, and they would not have been in any danger whatsoever. So by setting the stop loss here, right, the market makers understand that there is liquidity below these levels, and that's why they will target it. They will only reprice. Notice how I did not say push the market higher. I mean reprice, right? They provide Bitcoin to you at a higher, consistently higher price until, once all these stop losses have been taken out, right? Once all the sell side liquidity have been taken out, they will go target the buy side liquidity, at which point that is going to be 53,300. And do not worry if this does not make sense to you, okay? Go watch that video that I linked on the top right hand corner just now. You will get a better picture for how this works, okay? And just a very humble show, but if you want to get, just go in depth about this kind of stuff, there is going to be the private Discord group where you're going to get access to the training course. You're going to get access to all of the market updates that I'm posting, all of the trades that I might be taking, as well as, basically we're just making money every single day. So let's just say you're going to pay itself. Like this thing is going to pay itself off real quick. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you check out the link in the description below. But otherwise, that video is going to be pretty good as well. So now that you understand why I think that these levels are going to be targeted, right? I'm not saying they're going to be hit, but assuming that we are still bearish, then we are going to target this sell side liquidity. And the reason, the thing that we are doing differently from them is we're not placing a stop loss. We are not going on leverage. I do not seriously, I do not recommend leverage for most people out there. It's just not going to serve you well, okay? For people who know what they're doing, especially with their risk management, absolutely go on leverage, because what you have to understand is that leverage is you're just playing with the same position sizes, but you are allocating less capital into that trade if you compare it to if you were just doing it on spot. Now, what do I mean by that? assuming that your account is 10K, right? And 1% of your 10K is going to be $100, right? The amount that you should risk on each trade should not exceed 2 to 3%. Even 3% is really high. I would not recommend 2% risk for most trades, right? So assuming that you're going to risk $100, right? Or just whatever, right? Let's say that basically on every trade that you lose, you're going to lose 1%, which is $100. So what leverage allows you to do is normally maybe you would need to enter the position with about 10K worth of your capital, right? In order to risk 1%, right? For example, what leverage allows you to do is on 10X, you can just dedicate $1,000 of your $1,000 into that position and achieve the same $10,000 position size. Basically, your risk does not change. The only thing that changes is your ability to be in multiple positions at once. That is something that a lot of people get wrong. Leverage is not a way for you to get rich quick. If you think of leverage that way, you are going to be absolutely screwed. I don't care who you are, but you are going to be screwed. So now that you understand, what all this means, let's get back into Bitcoin. So 4 levels to pay attention to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now let's discuss the bullish scenario. Once, you break out of that level right there that I discussed, which is at about 47,000, and make sure you mark these levels down because I'm already giving you guys the exact levels. And if you're not marking them down, there's nothing more that I can do for you. All right. And at the moment, if you found, this video helpful, it would help me so much if you could just drop a like button. It's a small gesture, but it really, really helps this video out a lot. But, after you break out of 47K, I do believe that the first target you're going to hit is about 48,300. Now, the moment, so this is step 1 for bullish reversal, right? Once you break out of this pattern, that's going to be step 1 for bullish reversal, which I do think it's going to happen, right? So what is step 2? Step 2 is you're going to want to see Bitcoin break 48,300, right? Once you break this level right there, which is a previous swing high on the 4 hourly, once you break that level, then you are in, you're in step 2 of bullish reversal. And then you only need one more step to confirm like true bullish reversal. So bullish reversal basically just means, you're going to start going back up to, the market makers are repricing it higher, right? So once you break out of that, and once you break this level, what you're going to want to look for next is to get in on a pullback. So basically what it's going to look like is something like this, right? Something like that, right? You break that high, and then you're going to want to look for some order block, right? Maybe it might not retest this, right? Maybe it's just going to go all the way up, okay? And then on the pullback, right? When it retraces, you are going to want to look for an entry on a bullish order block. If you don't know what an order block is, I'm going to link a video on the top right hand corner. But what you have to, I'm just going to give you an example, right? What you want to look for is only if this high is broken, right? You're going to want to draw a Fibonacci, right? A Fibonacci retracement from swing low, right? Assuming this is the swing low, right? Assuming this is the bottom. I'm not saying this is the bottom, but I'm giving you an example. Assuming this is the swing low, you're going to want to draw a Fib from swing low, assuming the swing high is over here, right? What you're going to want to look for is to enter at the 0.618 or the 0.705, which will line up with the trend line, or it will line up with a bullish order block. And if you're wondering why, the bullish order blocks or the trend line just happens to line up with the fibs, it's because the market makers make it this way, okay? Almost every up move, right, that breaks market structure, you always get some form of retest on a 0.618 to 0.705. Now I want you to watch this, right? 0.618, I did not make this up. I just pulled this fib, and just to show you that this stuff happens all the time, right? 0.618, there you go, right there, instant bounce. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to reverse, but you will get, very good risk to reward ratio if you take a trade this way. If this is like key knowledge to you, this is stuff that I teach in my private Discord group. Okay, so if that's something you're interested in, again, check out the link in the description below, right? So that's what you're going to want to do. Once you confirm, right, once you go into 0.618, once you fill that and you start going up, right, that's going to be your entry right there, the 0.618 to 0.705. As long as you're bullish, which first step is over here, right? You break the previous high, you come back, retrace to the 0.618, and then the moment you break this previous high right here, the moment you break that, full on bullish reversal mode, okay? So that's going to be the plan for Bitcoin. I can't tell the future. Like, what I can tell you is where is the bottom and where is the tops. But one thing I cannot tell you is, sometimes it seems as though I am able to predict the future, which, I do. But as of right now, I can only tell you that I'm accumulating. I don't want to try to predict anything right now because, honestly, it's really 50-50. But if I had to place my bets, I would lean towards building longs, right? The crypto markets is just being so fearful right now. You know, basically anyone that joined crypto since basically July, right? Since July, they have not gotten much, like they have not been a massive liquidation event until basically in December or November, right? So anybody who joined crypto in the last 5 months have not gotten a taste of what it's like to be in crypto. And that's why you're seeing fear being so high right now. This is the shakeout before the move to 100K or 150K or whatever the number is, right? I'm not calling tops here. But what I do understand is that I highly predict that 80K is going to be hit before the end of this quote unquote bull market. Okay, 100% 80K will definitely, 80K right here definitely is going to be hit. So, you know, just based on all these factors, right? You know, you have stock to flow. And if you guys want to have, you know, a deeper insight into what I think about Bitcoin's long-term outlook, I'm going to link a video on the top right-hand corner that will take you to what I predict for Bitcoin, you know, on a very long-term basis, and whether or not we are still in a bull market or are we already in a bear market and we just don't know it. If that's something you're interested in, top right-hand corner. But otherwise, you know, that's really the time to be accumulating in every market period. Any buys, like any purchases that you make when everybody is in like deep fear is going to pay itself off like eventually, right? It might take a couple of months, it might take 3-6 months even, but eventually it's going to pay itself off, right? And you are going to be in a better position than many people, especially given, you know, I'm already telling you, right? 2022 is going to be a good year for crypto, at least in the first half of 2022. So seriously, now's not the time to be afraid. You know, now's the time to be accumulating, right? Go accumulate your favorite altcoins, especially the low cap altcoins, because they are bleeding out right now. Bleeding. I'm telling you, like, I'm going to give you a couple, right? You know, you look at SPI, this guy is bleeding out, and my average entry is not even this low, right? I'm already in the red, but you know what? I've done my research. This is a fundamentally good coin. I'm going to hold on to it, right? SPI, you know, you've got Boson USDT, right? It's in the zone of demand right here that I plotted out months ago, basically since October, right? It's coming back down to a really good entry. There's no reason why you should be panicking right now, right? You've got Boson, you've got SPI, you've got, you know, there's this coin that I'm looking at. It's a really low cap, but it's called Shield Protocol. It's not even on TradingView, but it's on BSC, right? Take a look at it. It's just exciting times right now, right? My portfolio is down. Everyone's portfolio is down, but right now is the time to be accumulating. Right now, it's not the time for you to be hiding and getting really scared. Seriously, you know, this is your chance to build some truly generational wealth. And these low cap altcoins, by the way, the ones that are fundamentally good, they are all on a discount right now. Very good discount. The positions that you build on these altcoins, they are going to serve you so well heading into 2022, right? You've got NGL, you've got SPI, you've got Boson. All of these are so cheap right now. Like, seriously, man. Like, you want to get access to all of the, you know, low cap coins that I might be sharing, and why I believe in those coins, and why I believe they can go 10x to 50x in the month of, you know, not even the month, but basically, you know, just in 2022. You're really going to want to join the private Discord group. And this is where, like, you know, just I'm sharing the most stuff, and I might be opening the monthly subscriptions soon. So remember to follow me on my Twitter to get the latest news of that. Like, I'm going to be posting it on Twitter, if nowhere else. So make sure you do. For now though, you know, just stay safe. Oh yeah, the take profit targets for Bitcoin. Honestly, you know, all these previous highs, they are your take profit targets, but ultimately you really want to see Bitcoin go back to 53,300, right? The target, the ultimate target for this long right here is 53,300, whereby you can start building a short, okay? You can start hedging into short at 53,300 as well as 55,800, right? Those are going to be the two levels that you are going to want to short, with a stop loss at about 57,800, right? But other than that, you know, seriously, not long right now, right? Go long, and I mean, not go long, but like accumulate on spot, because you don't want to be caught up in a liquidation event and be forced to get out of the market. So for your boys, you know, TPs 48,300, 49,400, 50,700, 51,800, and ultimately 53,300. And ultimately, this is the final TP, going to be at 55,800, whereby I'm going to want to start building some shorts for the immediate short term to get rejected, so that I can take advantage of the other way around. right? And that's what separates us traders from investors, right? We can go both ways. We can play the markets both ways, and that's the beauty. For now though, may the gains be with you, my friends, and peace.